The views and opinions expressed by the host and our guest does not state or reflect Ramona personally or the Life Designing with Ramona Rogers podcast. This podcast takes a glimpse into the lives of women that, despite their obstacles and challenges, they have knocked down barriers and succeeded in their chosen careers and in life. And today I have the pleasure of having the Women Transformation Activator, Miss Yvonne Nobles. How you doing today, Yvonne?
Hi, Ramona. It's such an honor to be here. How are you?
Oh, I am absolutely wonderful. You have made my day. You have stopped by to visit me. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Well, how are you feeling today?
Doing amazing. Doing amazing. You know, every day we wake up, it's a blessing.
All right. And you're in sunny Florida?
Yeah, here in Miami, although the weather, you never know what you're going to get, but we've got sun at the moment.
That's great. That's great. So we're going to hop right into it. Who is Yvonne Nobles? Who are you? Where'd you come from? What's your background?
You know, my mission today is to help as many women as possible around the globe understand they are bigger than they can possibly imagine. As far as origin, I come from a very, very small cow town in South Florida. If you look at a map, there's a giant hole, and that's Lake Okeechobee. It's a Native American word for big water. And from those small roots, I was able to, thanks to my father enlisting in the military, hop around the world, see a lot of things. And though he's gone now, it's been several years, I do everything just to maintain his legacy, to do all the things that he taught me as a little girl, believe in myself, and help everyone be the best version of themselves too.
Wow, that is so awesome. So, Women Transformation Activator.
Mm-hmm.
That is an awesome title. Where'd that come from?
So as a life coach and mindset coach, we tend to be the first ones to acknowledge we need coaches too. And I currently work with a team of 3. One of them actually said, that's it. That's what you do. And when I saw it the first time, I was blown away because sometimes you need someone else to hold up the mirror to really comprehend what you're doing. My emphasis is on helping women in particular understand that we can't grow, we can't reach the next level until we go deep. And what I mean is we have to look inside hearts, minds, emotional, mental, and piece that together. And that's when we literally transform. So many times it's a conversation, a lot of in-depth questions, getting someone just to pause and reflect on how far they've already come. That helps me elicit the transformation they need.
When did you start doing this? How did you know that this was your thing? What was a defining moment for you?
Wow, that's a great question. You know how you tend to have this experience where as a child, you're the person that everyone's coming to for advice. And it's funny because people assume that you have everything together and they don't understand we're all on this journey too. There's no such thing as being further along or further behind. None of us are broken. It's just a matter of doing the work, you know, understanding that there's bigger possibilities. And so that's the conversation I had with my mom some years back when I said, I want to start doing this for a living. And, you know, I'm just going to, the only difference is I'm going to get paid to do the very same thing that I've been doing all along. So we had a good laugh over that. It just feels amazing when you understand your superpower, when you know that you have an ability to help people expand and feel bigger than they've ever done. So yeah, I would say it's more of a calling that I finally decided to wake up to a few years back.
You said finally wake up. So you've been engulfed into this arena for how long?
So I went full time just last year. It was July, in fact. I left my 9 to 5 to focus strictly on coaching, and it was life-changing because, you know, taking that leap and really immersing myself only in this arena has opened up a lot of possibilities. One thing I'm very fond of pointing out in our offline conversations is time is money. So when you imagine having additional time that you were devoting somewhere else and you really focus on putting that to the thing that you're building, it's bigger than what's in the bank. Like it's just immense in what you can accomplish as long as you're capitalizing on the time that you've got.
I love what you said, taking the leap. In this podcast, it's all about wanting to put people in front, women that have succeeded, who have taken the leap to be an example for others. Now, you said taking the leap. Was there a final push? What's your background as far as like corporate America, the things that you're doing maybe to practice before you were able to take the leap, preparation for the jump, so to speak? What was that like?
Yeah, so I'll say good and bad. It's kind of like the glass half full or half empty. It's all in how you look at it. I went through some tremendous hurdles from the standpoint of the gaslighting and the, fighting to be in the room and not being acknowledged. And corporate America was my jam for over 20 years. Um, in fact, I was duped into management. There was one occasion when I was in Manhattan where working for a giant retail, monster. I was at a point of almost breaking. And I told them, if you don't let me leave this position, then I'm going to have to resign. That led to a very, big tug of war, finally being given and granted the permission to go to a different role and to find out 2 weeks later that they'd split that former role into 3 positions. So it can be very eye-opening when you start grasping that what we're giving and what we are bringing to the table, just because it's not being acknowledged, doesn't mean it isn't huge. And so that kind of catapulted me into looking for a way to make sure that other women could comprehend what you have is a gift and don't seek acknowledgement on the outside. It's almost like as little girls, we're taught to be damsels in distress and we're waiting for someone to come and save us from the dragon. Well, the thing is, no one's coming to save us. All we have to do is turn on the switch and understand we are the saviors. That is the wonder of it all. And when you help someone tap into that, it's like this ripple effect where now they have the power to go out and do the same thing for others. So I know that was kind of a roundabout the way answer, but
Oh, that was
hopefully it helped.
awesome. That was awesome. And I it resonates with me and my journey. And for you to say that, I've never heard it said that way. Well,
Got it.
be your own rescue. I used to say that, be your own rescue, and
Yeah.
getting people to actually understand what that is, how you just laid that out. That is like the next book. The next book. I'm just
Put it on the list.
looking here. And speaking of book, you are a pub author as well, right?
Yes, I do have great affiliates, mentors like yourself who help me understand that when a story is inside of you, you got to let it out. So, taking it back to September of last year, just a couple of months after I left that 9 to 5, I was on a cruise that I'd manifested from 3 years prior. And I took those 7 days to write a book. It's called Your First Millions Already in the Bank, an immersive guide to achieving a wealth mindset. And so it's a play on whatever it is that you define as abundance, whether that's money, time, freedom to be with your family, travel, whatever you want, it's already yours. It's just a matter of acknowledging that you have to embrace it instead of run from it. A lot of times it seems like we're our biggest enemy. We stand in our own way. And if we just get out the way, big things happen.
I agree totally because I've read your book like 3 times. We also, even though we're on this journey and we coach and train people on how to become a better version of themselves, we too need those tools as well. And so when you wrote that book, the first day you had it out on Amazon, I downloaded it and I read the whole thing. And
Thank you.
it was mind blowing to me. And it was just in such simple language that people could understand. And when you work with people, are you using your book as a tool as well to help them transition and transform?
Absolutely. Reason being, it's really about the shared growth. And what I love about my approach that I use there is it's journaling. So as you get to know my story, you're writing your own story. And it's a lot of emphasis on gratitude and, it really opens up one's mind to how much you already have. That's amazing. It's just a matter of saying thank you and acknowledging that, and then being in a position to ask for what you want next. And when you do that, you kind of open up this conduit of magic. Like these beautiful things come your way because now your awareness is that not only have you done big things and you have great things, but you're worthy of more.
Wow. I know I heard you say a quote one day. It's not about the WHEN. It's about the WIN.
Oh, yeah.
Where'd that quote come from? What was the situation behind that quote came through? And I was like, wow, that's like drop the mic type of thing.
If I recall correctly, I think I was on a podcast, and yeah, someone had invited me after reading the book and they had me on their show, and it just was this discussion around big things and timing and manifestation. And the takeaway for me was we put so much emphasis on when. Especially when we're growing up as young women, we start thinking, okay, by 20, I'm going to do this. And by 30, I'm going to do that. And then we look up and we're 40, and it's easy to start thinking, wait, I didn't do XYZ, but how about the ABC that you did do? How about the things that are right on the other side of your next big accomplishment because of what you've been through? And so all the time we're winning, WINNING, and we can really lose sight of that and, not appreciate it as much if we get so caught up on the timing of it all.
Oh, that is the drop the mic thing right there. That is awesome about the timing of when we say we're going to do something and when it's not happening, we beat ourselves up.
Yes.
Been there, done that, got a t-shirt, got several t-shirts. So my biggest thing is when I designed this, I'm looking at me, the younger me.
Mm.
And so our younger generation of women, of young women, what is some advice you would give them about treading their path, their journey, how to mark out their journey to actually live life on their own terms, design their life like they want to become and be able to live and exist in the world that they have created?
I'm very much these days about trusting your gut. We have this gift of intuition. And unfortunately, many of us choose to ignore it. And after the fact, we go, "Ooh, wish I wouldn't have done that." So, but use it. The beauty that you have is time is on your side. You can learn from any situation. But if you can avoid the mistakes, that's going to free up not just the memory, but the emotional space, your mental capacity to put those resources now into great things, into doing big things and helping others that are going to cross your path later. Now, I will say, don't live small, because you also don't want to be an old woman sitting on the porch in a rocking chair wishing you would have. If you see an opportunity, take it by the horns, run for it, do big things, because every failure is getting you closer to your big success. And, I don't know why, but somehow society has us disillusioned with thinking that when we fall down, that's the end of it. No, that's when you stand back up, dust yourself off, and you get back in that race and you run faster and stronger, knowing that you made it through. And there's going to be others on the sidelines just standing there cheering you on. So be selective in who you allow into your circle, because if they're pushing you down, if they're stifling you, if they're criticizing you, that is not your tribe. You want to be around the people that are going to support you and lift you higher so you can get to the ultimate space in your destination.
Oh, wow. So right. And I'm on that journey with you. So you have nailed that. I'm listening to you. So you're my mentor as well. And we dive so good together and how we met. I'll let you tell us how we met. But one of the things is networking.
Absolutely.
Networking with
Absolutely.
people. And
hey, I'm learning from you on that. You're the queen of networking. You do a phenomenal job.
I just saw you in that chat on a call that we were in a class.
Yeah.
I just saw you. I saw you, and it's like you lit up. And I just, hey, let's connect. And you're like, who is this crazy woman reaching out to me like that?
Not at all. It was an honor. Yeah, that was last fall as well. Speaking, so many things happened in fall of 21. Wow. But yeah, it was just happened to be in a training, and I that's what I try to live what I say. So that whole taking the bull by the horns, the challenge was presented among 100 plus in attendance to speak up and take on speaking in front of everyone virtually. And I said, sure, I'll try. And it was just this magnetism, because I used to do public speaking events back when I was a child, competitions, and I got caught up in that moment I call it the moment of magic, when everything goes silent in the room and it's like you can hear a pin drop. And all of a sudden, when I finish, like even the facilitator was kind of like, and then I noticed my chat blew up. And so one reason that your invitation to connect really resonated with me was there weren't a lot of us in the room. And so it's nice when you can see yourself, when you know others are out there. And it's all about finding each other and making sure that you collaborate to get to that next level.
Yes, 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 yes. And so that is what you have been doing. I've been watching you over the last like 9 months, and you have been putting in the work. What do you have coming up? What's launching? What are you launching for 2022? What's going on?
Wow. Lots of things in the work. Today, actually later this week, I'm gonna make sure, I don't know if many of you are familiar with Linktree. So I say it that way because I am a tech dinosaur. There's so many resources out there that I just haven't capitalized on yet. But the beauty of that is you can take a lot of your accomplishments and pull them together in one place. So it's as if people get to Netflix your content. So I've already dropped in some audio meditation files that I created. There's going to be a checklist about the building blocks of a queen's crown and how you can live your best life. I'm going to go ahead and consolidate some interviews that I've been honored to do, as well as to be a guest on, and just take together what feels like at this point my life's work. As far as launches, I have new coaching programs and facilitations that I'm setting up. And it's gonna now, I used to focus just on high ticket, but I want to make sure that I have a gamut of price offerings, because there's different phases in our life where we might have a little less and a little more. But we don't want to, refuse to take advantage of an opportunity to better ourselves. And the thing about it is, we can always get further together than we can on our own. But for some reason, whether it's a cultural limitation or what society has imposed on us, we think we're strong, we can do it on our own. You might even be an information junkie and think, I can YouTube and Google this. But the problem is, a computer doesn't see your blind spots. It's not going to
Mm.
hold you accountable. And so when you have someone who's walked the path and who's done that journey and who has your best interests in mind and can gently take you by the hand and help lift you to a higher place, it's not a matter of you wouldn't have got there in the first place. It's just a matter of getting there faster. So what happens if you change your life in a couple of months or a couple of years, as opposed to taking 10 or 20 years to get there? That's money and time that you've gotten back.
What is and I run across that too. That thing you just talked about, what is the block of people moving forward to try something different? Granted, we didn't grow up with coaches. I was an athlete.
Mm,
Coaches, they are on the field. But life coaching, coaching you moving forward in life,
mhm,
why is that? Why do you think that that's such a hard concept for people
mm.
to grasp?
There's a lot of reasons, but I love how you point out your athleticism and how it was a given. Like if you showed up to practice and they told you, we're trying something new this year, we're not going to do any coaches. It's just the team. Everyone would have looked around like, what? No, the coach is so integral to a win. And when you think about it, it doesn't matter if it's the Super Bowl, boxing match, the Olympics. A lot of times, as soon as the athlete wins, some of the first to be thanked are their coaches. So if they do that for a medal or a trophy, why wouldn't we do that for our life? The most important thing that we're building is a legacy. So if you have someone that's going to help you get there faster, sooner, make you leaner and meaner, it is so worth the investment. And it seems to me, although there's a lot of reasons why we can be resistant to that, the first one for me can be imposter syndrome. It's this little pesky belief that has you thinking, play small, stay small. You're not worthy of that. Why should you have that? Celebrities get those things, or, big famous people and rich people and people that don't look like you. That kind of jumps
Mm.
in and makes you think that you can't play in whatever arena. But what I do is try to flip that on its head and ask, instead of why me, why not me? Why not? What is there to prevent you from being the next fill in the blank? And the only thing that stops us is ourselves. So definitely go out there, get a coach, get someone that's going to hold you accountable to get to new levels faster than ever. And you'll thank us later.
I know that's right. I can't wait for all those things. Yvonne, you are amazing. Where can people find you?
So you can get in touch with me, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, everything. I use the moniker Knew You Well. So NEWYOUWOW. And as soon as I drop this link tree later this week, I'll be putting that out there for everyone. It's also, if you're familiar with that conduit link tree / Yvonne Nobles, just super, super excited for everything that lies ahead and helping as many people as possible pay it forward.
Wow. Wonderful. Thank you so much for dropping all these gems on us today. Oh, I have a few new things that I'm going to be thinking about from the gems you dropped here. So Yvonne Nobles, take advantage of her, the Transformation Activator. Awesome title. I look forward to seeing the things that you do and the people's lives that you touch and how you can help people up-level themselves. And thank you so much. You have a wonderful day. Those of you who are joining our podcast, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Life Design Podcast.
Thank you. You did amazing.